This monologue was based on an interview with a woman who had a good experience with a man.
This is how I came to love my vagina. It's embarrassing because it's not politically correct. I mean, I know it should have happened in a bath with salt grains from the Dead Sea, Enya playing, me loving my woman self. Well, I know the story. Vaginas are beautiful. Our self-hatred comes from internalized repression and the hatred of the patriarchal culture. It's not real. Pussies unite! Woo! Woo! I know all of it. Like if we grew up in a culture where we were taught that fat thighs were beautiful, we'd all be pounding down milkshakes and Krispy Kremes, lying on our backs, spending our days thigh expanding. But we didn't grow up in that culture. I hated my thighs, and I hated my vagina even more. I thought it was incredibly ugly. I was one of those women who had looked at it, and from that moment on, I wished I hadn't. It made me sick. I pitied anyone who had to go down there. So, in order to survive, I pretended there was something else in between my legs. I imagined furniture. Cozy futons, light cotton comforters, little velvet settees, leopard rugs, or pretty things like silk handkerchiefs or quilted pot holders or place settings. I'd grown so accustomed to this that I lost all memory of even having a vagina. Whenever a man was inside of me, I pictured him inside of a mink-lined muffler or a Chinese bowl. And then I met Bob. Bob was the most ordinary man I had ever met. He was thin and tall and nondescript and wore khaki tan clothes. Bob did not like spicy food, and he did not listen to Prince. He wasn't interested in sexy lingerie. He didn't share his inner feelings. He didn't have any problems or issues. He wasn't even an alcoholic. He wasn't very funny or articulate or mysterious. He wasn't mean or unavailable. He wasn't self-involved or charismatic. He didn't drive fast. I didn't particularly like Bob. I would have missed him altogether if he hadn't picked up the change I dropped on the deli floor. When he was handing me back my quarters and my pennies, our hands touched, and something happened. So I slept with him. And that's when the miracle occurred. It turns out Bob loves vaginas. Whoa! He was a connoisseur. He loved the way that they felt and the way they smelled and the way they tasted. But most importantly, he loved the way that they looked. He had to see them. The first time we had sex, he said he had to see me. I'm right here. I said. No. You, he said. I have to see you. Why don't you turn on the light? I said, thinking he was some weirdo and freaking out in the dark. So we turned on the light, and then he said, I'm ready. I'm ready to see you. I'm right here! Wait, I'm right here! Oh, yeah, he began to undress me. I said, what are you doing, Bob? I need to see you. No need. I said, just do it. Bob would not stop. He continued. Oh, I was going to throw up and die. This is awfully intimate, I said. Can't you just do it? No, he said. It's who you are. I need to look. So I held my breath.
Woo!
And he looked. And looked. And he got all breathy. And his face changed. And Bob didn't look ordinary anymore. He looked like a hungry beast. "You're so beautiful," he said. "You're elegant and innocent and deep and wild." You saw all that down there? It was like he read my palm. "I saw that," he said, "and more, much, much more." He sat there looking for almost an hour, like he was studying a map or observing the moon, staring into my vagina. I watched him looking, and he was so genuinely excited, so peaceful and euphoric. And I got so wet and so turned on. I mean, I began to see myself the way that he saw me. I began to feel beautiful and delicious, like a great painting or a waterfall. Bob wasn't afraid. He wasn't grossed out. I began to feel really proud. I began to love my vagina. And Bob, he lost himself there. And I was there with him, in my vagina. And we were